Good morning, everyone. I apologize for the late start. Please forgive me. Um, but honestly, there's no excuse. I should have got my timer and did what I had to do. Man, my goodness, I'm mad at myself. Although I got in at 3 a.m., I still should have did what I had to do. So you don't have to worry about that. So uh, again, I don't think we even have it tomorrow, and I'm gonna be on point. We are recording in our live studio with DCI Educational Center, Educational Group. I did want to still make sure we record this review so you can go back. And so we're gonna go full speed ahead. Thank you. I see you in the comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, I appreciate y'all going in here. I hope that you have been, just kind of evaluating yourself as okay, how much do I know? What do I need to study? Are there any components on here that are totally left field? And if they are, what do I do about them? And so let me pull up my key. And we're on number 76. We are moving right along. Okay. And some of those I will when we get down to our last 30 minutes of class, I will read and go through with answer key. Let's look at number 76. Make sure my audio is on. Yeah, we're ready to go. Cosmetology professionals are only allowed to use products that remove dead skin from the stratum. This is talking about a layer of skin. Okay. We're talking about the layer of skin. Corneum. Okay. Straight up corneum is 76B. Some top layer of dead skin cells. That's where we find the dead skin cells. Okay. So they're basically saying your scope of practice as a cosmetologist, you can only remove allowed to use products that remove dead skin cells from the corneum, which means top. So this is going to be the top layer. Lucidium, honestly, keratoma is not a skin layer, so they just threw that in there. But lucidium and granulocytium are both deeper layers of skin. Okay, so you guys are not med spa technicians where you can go down into those levels. Okay, so 76 is B. 77, a cream type enzyme applied to the face and rolled off the skin. All right, microform, toner, scrub, or gamage. Cream, okay, not granular. Cream, okay. It is a gamage. It's a cream type enzyme applied to the face and rolled off the skin is a gamage, okay? We had a product at the school from Estamax called the lemon. It was called a lemon scrub. We used to call it a lemon drop, lemon scrub. And so what it is, it's a cream, put it on the skin, and it would just rub off, but it would pick up the old dead skin cells and just kind of rub away. All right, that's a gamage. 78. What are scrubs that contain aluminum oxide crystals along with other granular scrubs? Use these aluminum oxide crystals. Okay. And let me tell you, it is not popular anymore. All right. They call that a microderm abrasion. A microderm abrasion, what you guys know it of from when we were in the building, were from the actual tool, the actual equipment. All right. And with dermabrasion, but it's the crystal list. All right. And so back in the day, it used to be the crystal microdermabrasion, where they used to use these little aluminum oxide crystals, and they would kind of sharp on the end a little bit. They would put them into the apparatus, cut it on, and really the air will blow it back and forth. Okay, you will take it across the skin. The air would bring it towards the skin, and it pretty much would chip off the dead skin cells. Now they were very fine, but the issue was when you got around the mouth, the eyes, and the nose, it would go into, you'll have accidents and injuries because it would hit people's eyes. Even though it's fine, it was going in a rapid movement. So yeah, it was damaging. It could hit people's eyes. It was going up people's noses, going in their mouths, because everybody, does not have the same level of technique or professionalism. And so it became like, okay, we need to create something where we don't even do this. So they created the dermabrasion crystallus. So you just have to put the little caps on, and those little caps have the little cuts that go across the skin. It's a different kind of cut that goes across the skin. So 78 is B, microdermabrasion. Okay, microform is in there to throw you off. 79, blank contains chemicals that loosen or dissolve dead cell buildup. Can work in a relatively short time or be combined in a moisturizer for longer effects. 79 is chemical exfoliants. Okay, loosen or dissolve dead cell buildup, can work in a relatively short time and can be combined with a moisturizer for longer effects. Chemical exfoliants, that's going to be your acid peels. Okay, chemical peels, acid peels. Remember, exfoliant is a remover of skin, and there's multiple types. Exfoliants that dissolve the bonds that intercellular cement between cells are. Okay, dissolve the bonds. We are also talking acids. We know it's not aluminum oxide crystals. Remember, they are associated with microdermabrasion. It's not gamage. Remember, it's a scrub that you rub off. And tonic lotions, that is anywhere that's like a watery consistence of a cleanser. Okay, so we look at 80, and I just did a process of elimination. 80 is C. Okay, dissolves the bonds and intercellular cement. All right, 81, Salon, AHA. Okay, AHA or alpha hydroxy acid exfoliants are often referred to as astringents, mechanical exfoliants. Gomages, peels. 81 is going to be peels because they will say AHA acid peels. Okay. 82, chemical exfoliants that work by dissolving keratin protein in the surface cells, which means they break up what holds everything together. All right, breaks up what holds everything together. You usually can find quick results with this that work by dissolving keratin protein in the surface. It's not going deeper into the skin cells. So the key word was surface, are known as 82C, enzyme peels. Okay, enzyme peels. And I'm just noticing I did not. There we go. All right. 83, an enzyme peel that does not dry the skin and can be used during a steam treatment. Cream form, gamage, emulsifying form, or powder form. We're talking about enzymes, powder form. Does not dry the skin and can be used during a steam treatment. You have enzymes that start off at powder and you add water to them. Okay. 83, powder form. Emulsifying form don't make any sense because emulsifying means to break down. When you rub the two products together, it means to break down. Gamage, we know what that means. Cream form, it's like A and C are just something made up. 84, water binding agents and moisturizers are also known as alpitics, humectants, emollients, or peptides. Okay. 84 is B. This is why you said people say they want moisturizers that are humectants. Anytime you hear about products that are humectants, they are water binding, okay, which means they want you bring this in when skin is dry or to prevent it from getting dry. If someone was using a lotion or something and then like the next few minutes it looks like their skin was dry, that means they have something in their skin that is probably pulling. They have like they call it TEWL, transepidermal water loss. So from the top layer of the skin, it's just the water, it's just skin just soaks it up, and you have to keep applying and applying. But if you're using products that are humectants, and you'll notice that that's used a lot in hair conditioners. If they're using a steamer, they will choose a product that is a humectant because they want to make sure that water level, that water moisture stays within that hair. So 85 is B, humectants, whether using on skin or hair, is going to increase moisture levels. 86, moisturizers for oily skin. May not want to use a humectant, remember? Moisturizer for oily skin are most often found in lotion form and generally contain blank amounts of emollient. Okay. 86, B, small amounts. Emollients are moisturizers, oils, small amounts. So moisturizers for oily skin don't need a whole lot of oily skin, products with oily skin. Although, let me tell you, there are some oils that are very beneficial to the skin and do not cause the skin to be overly oily. We'll look at 87. Shielding the skin from blank is probably the most important habit to benefit the skin. Sun exposure. Okay. Protecting the skin from the sun. Okay. Shielding the skin, protecting the skin from the sun. It says skin products that have a higher concentration of ingredients. Okay. Higher concentration of ingredients is going to be serums. Serums are going to be your treatment serums. When you use them, you'll use them pretty much after you're done with all the manipulation of the face and you have serum, moisturizer, sunscreen left. Okay. Serums are those treatments, should be focused on treatment areas, whatever's going on with the skin. And so you can really pack a punch with your ingredients when you create or when you bring in those serums. You can layer them, okay? And so you can use serums before masks. Serums are very beneficial. And I like to use vitamin serums. So I like vitamin E. I love vitamin E. And I use it as a serum before bed when I wake up. Man, I said the other day, I really need a facial. So I'm going to really get a facial. And I'm also going to use a serum. I have to go get a facial massage, which is different from a facial. I'm going to start using my serums, okay, before they apply any massage oil or anything to my face. So serums, think about it. Power pack, you can pack it, higher concentration of ingredients. Really, if you're talking about an item that can really change what's going on with the client's skin, serums. 89, what are concentrated treatment products often composed of mineral clays, moisturizing agents, skin softener, aromatherapy oils, botanical extracts, and other beneficial ingredients to cleanse, exfoliate, tighten, tone, hydrate. and nourish your skin? Is it toners, cleansers, masks, and moisturizers? Mask or moisturizers, okay? We're looking at 89. What we got? C, mask.
Mask.
Yeah. Sorry, if you had it in the chat, I didn't look up there. Yes, C mask. All this good stuff in the mask. All that good stuff is in the mask. So yes, serums and your mask being very, very effective, okay? Oil absorbing masks that have an exfoliating and astringent effect, making larger pores appear smaller. This is a mask that probably is going to soak up oil and shrink the pores. 90, clay. Is it gel? Is it alginate? Or is it cream mask? 90 is going to be, it is going to be A, clay base. Okay, that means it's going to be really drying on the skin. And when it starts to really dry, you know that it's tightening pores, it's contracting, tightening the pores, and eliminating as much oil as possible. Mask containing hydrators and soothing ingredients that do not dry hard and can be used on sensitive skin. These feel so good. You're talking about gel masks. Okay. Can also be packed with a lot of ingredients as well. Masks containing blank and other beneficial ingredients are melted in a little more than body temperature before application and applied over treatment creams to allow the cream's ingredients to penetrate more deeply into the surface layer of the skin. Now we're talking, okay? When you talk about something melting, you're talking about paraffin masks, okay? So there's like the same thing, you put your hands in, and then as you bring it out, it coats your hands, add what's moisture. Well, you can use paraffin on any part of the body, and they do have paraffin masks. And to take it, you definitely put the gauze on top and then apply the mask. Um, Most times they will put a heater, a facial heater on top that will push and penetrate whatever serum you have into the skin, and then you will peel it off. Okay. It's there to help those with dry and dehydrated skin. A great benefit as well. Helps leave some moisture around. 93. Which mask contains special crystals and dry to plaster like consistency? Okay. As you can already guess, when you look at the term modelich, okay, modelich mask. You put it on, it's gonna set, and you pretty much just have to tap it on the side and pull it straight off the face. It'll come off as it look like a mask, like an impression of a person's face. 94. What thin open mesh cotton fabric is used to hold mass products on the face? I just talked about it. 94 would be C, gauze. Okay, holds everything together. The impact of a massage treatment depends on the amount of pressure, direction of movement, and, okay, C, duration of manipulation. How long are we doing this? Okay, 95. 96, and the massage is very important as well. 96, the direction of movement in massage should always be from insertion of the muscles towards its, and I'm going to say origin, and it is correct. Okay. Insertion to origin. That's the only way to go. It's just the only thing it lists in a book. It don't say internal surface, ligaments, nothing. It says insertion to origin. Okay. You can also find that as true in the anatomy and physiology chapter under muscular system. 97. What is the light continuous stroking movement applied with fingers or palms? 97 is going to be D, effleurage. light stroking. That's what we'll start off with. Every massage will start and end with, okay? Effleurage. Effleurage is also your connection, your in between, okay? Your connection, your in between. You'll use this to connect other massages. So before I go over to kneading, I'm gonna go into round circle of motions. It's light, it's continuous, and then I go in to something with pressure, okay? When I come out of that, I'm gonna go back into effleurage before I move into my tapotement. Okay, I'm gonna come out of that. I'm gonna go back into effleurage. So it's one of those movements that also allow the facial to keep progressively going. Okay, it's a great transition. When you can't figure out what else to do, go back into effleurage. 98. What kneading movement is performed by lifting, squeezing, and pressing tissue with light, firm pressure? 98 is going to be A, petrissage. 99, blanket is a form of petrissage, so it goes in deep, in which the tissue is grasped, gently lifted, and spread out. Tapping, fooling, effleurage, tapotement. Number 99 is going to be fooling, B. All right. So you basically pressurize, you're using pressure, a little bit of more pressure, but you're gently lifting and spreading out. So it's almost like you're taking your hand, rolling it up the side of your face, lifting it up, and you're spreading your fingers out. Okay. 100. Yeah, we made it to 100. Pressing and twisting the tissues with a fast back and forth movement is a form of friction known as B, rolling. Pressing and twisting the tissue. Okay, B, rolling. Twisting the tissue back and forth. What is a stimulating form of massage that consists of short, quick tapping, slapping, hacking movements? Okay, if you would look at all of these, we are talking the 101 tapotement. Keyword was tapping. 102. And tapping is usually done at the end of the service as well to wake you up. And it's not so much like get up, get up, get up. No, it wakes the body up because the body is in this very relaxed state of laying down. And so the blood is now going just very linear. Okay. It's just the blood is just flowing. Okay. And it's just kind of relaxed. But when we add those tappament moments, you start to agitate things a little bit and it really gets energy moving. And you say, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. That's what that tappament is doing. Prepare to get up, prepare to wake up. Okay, blood, y'all start back the movement. Stop just laying there, start back the movement. And that's tapotement. 102, and some people call it piano, but in our textbooks, it's tapotement. 102, what is a chopping movement? Chop, chop, chop. Performed with the edges of the hand. Maybe both wrist and hands move alternately in fast, light, firm, flexible motions against the skin. Chop, chop, chop. 102 is hacking. Okay. You may have seen these at nail shops. They hack on the leg, they hack on the back, in some masseuse shops as well. 102 is hacking. That's C. 103, the point over a muscle where pressure or stimulation would cause contraction of the muscle. All right, pressure, stimulation would cause this muscle to draw up. 103 is going to be a motor point, okay? All muscles are going to, muscle when first touch will draw up and then it will start to relax. It will contract first and then it relax. So some people who get massages will say, oh, this massage hurts or massage hurts. They didn't stay in it long enough to press to the enjoyment part. They all would tighten up and then they level out. And so then that relaxation comes in, okay? Try not to tell your people to go too far in between massages because you don't want to have to adjust those muscles like that again, okay? So motor point is you put in each motor point, literally when pressed, it connects to a nerve, okay? It has nerve endings. And so when you apply pressure in one area, you're releasing pressure in another area. Make sure you check out reflexology for that, acupuncture, acupressure for that as well. So 103 is A. 104, to soften skin tissues and follicle accumulations. All right, the stuff at the top, making them easier to extract. It's recommended to first use a what? 104, first use a steamer. That's what the steamer does. It softens the skin, preparing it for the facial, softens and opens up the pores, okay? And the steam, just like smoke, the steam draws things to the surface, okay? Draws things to the surface. So it's that follicle accumulation, making it easier to extract. When you come in with your extractor tool, you just have to press and the stuff just comes right out, okay? To provide a buffer for the skin when using a brushing machine, apply a thick layer of cleanser or, okay, B, moisturizer. All right. You're prepping the skin. A lot of times they have modified like shower routines and you use dry buffer and things of that nature. And so it's the same thing. If we were doing it on the face, you're trying to prep the skin, get as much of that dead skin off as possible from the top of the surface. So you'll use a dry brush. And they're saying here, add moisturizer to it, which is a good notion. 106, an applicator used to direct electric current from machine to the client's skin is microcurrent, charger, electrode, or extractor. 106 is going to be electrode. An applicator, okay, it's an applicator. So it's an actual tool, a handle used to direct electric current from a machine to the client's skin, electrode, okay? So we are talking pretty much high frequency. Okay. High frequency electrotherapy machines have how many electrodes? Okay. High frequency machines have how many electrodes? It can only use one electrode at a time. Okay. One electrode. Nikola Tesla is credited with discovering, remind you of Tesla, high frequency current. Okay. And also think about the cars that we drive or we see all the time, high frequency current. Okay. It's amazing how just discovering this current and now we have electric cars. So that information goes back a long, long time. Okay. 109, light therapy using a light emitting diode. That's LED. Uses blue light to treat skin that is acne prone, wrinkled, dry, or sensitive. 109 is going to be A. Y'all, whenever you see a LED, handheld LED, I tell people anytime I see acne, I know I'm going to use a blue light. Blue is going to kill bacteria. Okay, it's going to kill the surface bacteria on the skin. It's going to work as you use it to kill whatever's inside of that pimple and pore as well. And so LED light, acne prone skin will thrive and acne will multiply if the skin is dirty. So by you constantly touching it, you're not removing product, not removing makeup and things like that. You're making it easy for acne prone skin to develop. Okay. So, but LED blue light is for acne prone skin. What is a mechanical exfoliation that uses a closed vacuum to shoot crystals onto the skin? Remember, there were an early type and another type. Those crystals onto the skin are not as popular. They don't use them anymore, but it is associated with microdermabrasion. Okay. 111, blank, developed to help disguise less than perfect skin, have been improved by adding color that will actually neutralize skin discoloration. Neutralize skin discoloration. Okay. And actually, makeup is our next chapter. We're talking about 111. Get your head start. We're talking about primers. 112, liquid and cream forms of foundation are a mixture of water and oil with coloring agents called pigments. Okay. 113, water-based foundation is non-comedogenic. All right. I want you to understand what non-comedogenic. Comedogenic means a product or ingredient that causes blackheads or whiteheads or clogging of the pore. When you have something that is non-comedogenic, you recommend it to clients. Ultimately, if you're going to be performing facials and hair and nails and say, hey, I want to jump into facials first, your license allows you to do that. But picking product, knowing what's in the ingredients and things like that, non-comedogenic means this person can use this product and they don't have to worry about getting negative responses when it comes to blackheads, whiteheads, pimples from this product. It is non-clogging. Okay, non-comedogenic. Learn that term. Water-based foundation is non-comedogenic and used on skin that is classified as what we're using it on. Okay, oily to combination. It would make sense. Okay, oily skin, oil builds up, clogs pores, uh, can is a breathing, is a invitation to acne, blackheads, whiteheads. So using a foundation, the person may think I can't wear any makeup because it clogs my pores. So no, you can wear a water-based foundation, okay, and it won't blanket the skin and cause your face to be feeling like it's under a blanket. What is one of the newest trending makeup products that provides foundation in a powder form? 114, let's go ahead and answer this. C, mineral powder. And I actually love mineral powder. It gives you this nice radiant look and great coverage, okay? Which products are thick, heavy foundations that are used to hide dark circles, blotches, and other imperfections? And here's why you should offer facials and things like that to your clients. Concealers. Okay, right now I'm loving a Lancome concealer, full coverage concealer. I'm loving it, and I've never really tried Lancome cosmetics before. And I went to Houston and I was looking for something in MAC, and he was like, "Look, I think I know what you need, and I'm hooked on it." Okay, Lancome. 115 is A concealers. All right, covers up, hides those spots. 116, powders containing very little pigment that are used to reduce shine by absorbing oiliness, so gives a matte look without adding color, as known as concealing, highlighting, translucent, or correcting. 116 is translucent. It's going to soak up that oil, but it's not going to give you that color. And a lot of times you'll find powders that are white. People say banana powder. I like Ben Nye, who's been around forever. I like a caramel Ben Nye instead of a banana. Okay. I actually need to order me some caramel Ben Nye powder. If you are into theater, Broadway pizza, you also have, I'm thinking about a street. That's why I said Broadway Street. It has Broadway pizza. And then it also has Main Stage. Main Stage is a theater store. They sell theater makeup. Okay. And a lot of times, to me, I will wear their powders, their eyeshadows, their foundations, their brow pencils, and eyeliners. I will wear their product, all Ben Nye. I will wear that before I wear designer stuff in the department stores. And you're probably like, what? Yes, because they're made for theater. They're made to stay on. They're not going to come off until you take it off. Number two, they block shine, oiliness. Okay. So they're made to work under those hot lights to be worn a long time. And so, it's theater makeup. Ben Nye is a theater company, but a lot of people go, you'd be surprised. And how I found it, somebody told me about it, But one of the news ladies mentioned that that's where she gets her foundation from. We were at a salon and one of the ladies on the news was in there and she was like, I go because I'm on camera. I have to go and do this. I can't do my makeup all the time. So she said that that's where she went. And when I tell you I went and they said, yeah, anybody in film and TV, yeah. Also, let me give you a tip. You know, they wear those wigs and things, and actually, lace wigs were made for film and TV. I hope y'all know that, right? And we have taken it and modernized it for everyday use, but it was made for commercial use. So when we talk about special effects and you see those scary theater type movies, and you're like, how do they make those characters and things? They sell those products as well. And initially, lace glues and things like that, somebody just probably was in film and TV and theater. And then they just started to private label it and commercialize it. But it's called spirit gum. That's what lace glue pretty much is in the theater world, spirit gum. And they have it in clear, they have it in paste, they have it looks like the old school glue where you can pick up with the brush on the end. Um, then they have different types of lace attachments. So beards, put it on, looks like it's coming right out of the skin. So a lot of what, we see people who say they got their own glues, not gonna name any names. They got their own, they can tell you about lace. Let me tell you, the people that know the most about lace are the quietest people. They're the ones that are on the TV sets in the back. They're the ones backstage doing hair. They're the ones in the trailers of the movies who are doing hair. They're the ones on set. Okay, they're the quietest people because they're doing their job. Okay, and most of them get paid thousands of dollars just to do their job. Okay, and not create perfect styles, but just to have the illusion of having the people ready on TV. And they use things from theater stores. And it's initially theater makeup. So if I don't get over to main stage, that's here in Memphis, just gave you a nugget. Get you some pizza from Broadway Pizza, and then go to main stage right across that little railroad track. Ask to see the makeup area, okay, or the theater makeup area, and they'll say, "Do you used to be you could walk in and see everything from top of and it was literally from the top of the ceiling to the bottom of the floor." But I think you may have to tell them. They may say what you want to see, and then it comes out like that. But it's you need to go check it out. Okay, you need to go check it out. If you live in Memphis, come on now. And then of course you can move to any city and just look for theater. But caramel powder, if you got pigment like me, caramel banana instead of banana powder, the yellow caramel midnight. That's what I need. So if I don't get it from Amazon, I'm gonna go to main stage. I'm gonna buy it myself. Okay. That's my favorite translucent powder. That's my favorite setting powder. It says what cosmetic is used to define the eyes and make the lash line appear fuller. Define the eyes and make the lash line appear fuller. 117 is going to be eyeliner. We know that. Okay. 118, eyeliner blank consists of a wax, paraffin, or hardened oil-based petroleum with a variety of additives to create colors. 118 is a eyeliner pencils. Okay. According to the American Medical Association, eye pencils should never be used blank because this can lead to infection. C. All right. We don't let anyone use our eyeliners, our pencils. All right. Remember back in the day, people will put it on their lips, they'll put it in their eyes and give it to you. But this is how you spread germs, bacteria, infection. We don't want to do that. 120, eyebrow blank are used to add color and shape to the eyebrows. Okay. B, pencils and powders, colors and shapes. Cheek color, also known as blank, is used primarily to add color to the cheeks. Concealer, highlighter, pigment, or blush. 121 is D, Please note, blush is also called, back in the day, rouge, R-O-U-G-E, rouge, okay? That's another term. Which cosmetic product is waxy and used to enhance the lips? 122, you have C, lip color is waxy, okay? 123, lip color is available in many forms, including creams, glosses, pencils, gels, and powder sticks, blocks of pads. 123, B, sticks, lip sticks. 124, which cosmetic product is generally applied before the lip color to define the shape of the lips and keep color from bleeding? I love lip liner. Oh my goodness. Okay. One of my favorite products. 124 is D, lip liner. Okay. 125. What cosmetic is used to darken, define, and thicken the eyelashes? Eyeliner, pigment, tack. Tack is powder, or mascara. 125 is mascara. Here's a cool fact too. Maybelline mascara. One brother, there's a guy that created Maybelline mascara, but he named it after his sister, and he wanted to give homage to his sister. Her name was Maybelline. 126. Changing blank is a simple way to change a look, and it proves a great way for your client to give herself a treat and brighten her day. 126 is C, changing the lip color, day look, night look. Okay. I've recently gone to a pink mauve looking color. It works sometimes, other times it don't. Okay, but I am in love with a red lip. 127, what are special preparations for removing eye makeup that can be either water-based or oil-based? 127 is A, eye makeup removers, okay? Micellar water is a cleanser too that's specifically designed to remove makeup, okay? And hydrate the skin. It is considered a cleanser though. 128, blank is a heavy makeup primarily used for theatrical purposes because it does not shift during performances, okay? 128 is going to be A, grease paint, all right? And it looked like grease paint, okay? But it could take a lot, y'all, to get this going, and it could take a lot to take this off. 129. Makeup brushes can be cleaned with a brush solvent or D, antibacterial detergent. This is why we use Dawn, okay? 130. What can lip color be applied directly? What can lip color be applied directly from the container? If it belongs to the client, never. If using a disposable applicator, if it is brand new. 130 is never. We are never applying lip color directly from the container if it's in a container. When you guys go for your state board prep on the practical composition, you will need to do a basic makeup application. The basic makeup application, you'll have the products there, but you're not going to use makeup brushes. I think it's a basic application of them. Setting powder, eyeliner, eyeshadow, and lipstick. Okay. You'll take the actual items and remove them out of the container, and then you would need actual disposable like Q-tip or disposable. They make makeup disposables to then take it from there onto the face. So we're never using it directly out of the container. 131, vital to effective makeup application is a strong understanding of color theory. Okay, and I understand color theory. We're going to go over that next week as well. 132, skin color, eye color, and blank are all primary factors for consideration when choosing colors for a client, jewelry type, favorite color, hair color, clothing color. 132. And we're almost there, guys. C, skin color, eye color, and hair color. Primary factors considering when choosing colors for a client. Also, what's going on, day event, night event, so on and so on. Okay. 133. Blank colors encompass blues, greens, violets, and blue reds. Those are cool colors. 134. The use of shadows, dark shades, and colors will divide facial shape, minimize prominent features, accentuate prominent features, or highlight features. Okay. The use of dark shadows minimize cat eye. Think of that. Dark shadows, smoky eye minimizes. Okay. 35. What well proportioned facial shape is considered ideal? Okay. 35. What well proportioned facial shape is considered ideal? And it is a oval. Okay. Oval is your well proportioned facial shape. I look at give you an example of a celebrity, Halle Berry, which means they can wear any haircut, any hair color, predominantly any makeup styles. Oval facial shape is your average facial shape, okay, and pretty much anything you put on them can look amazing. And then we'll go from there. 136, when learning corrective makeup techniques, the face is divided into three what? 136, three horizontal sections. All right, 1, 2, 3. Zone 1, 2, 3. 137, the facial shape that is usually broader in proportion to its length. Broader in proportion to its length, okay? Which means the facial shape is broader, it's wider in proportion to its length, proportion, okay? 137 is going to be round. So the face is wider than the length of it, okay? Round facial shape. Diamond facial shapes looks like just like that. Diamond facial shape is going to have a smaller forehead. It's going to have a wider or more pointed zone 2, which is the center of the face. And then it's going to have a smaller chin. A square shape is going to have a wider forehead and also a wider length face wise and a wider chin area. It's a square. Okay. Ultimately, we use contouring powders and creams and things like that, contouring, because what we're trying to do is cut curves. Remember, the average facial shape was oval. So a lot of times we're trying to minimize curves and get back to an oval shape. That's contouring. All right. Um, and then also in women, there are certain facial shapes or features that can become harder that can look masculine. And so we would use, remember what they use to make eyes look smaller. Okay. They use darker shadows. So this is where also we come in with darker foundations or contouring shadows, contouring palettes of different shades to make um, lines in the face look smaller. So those individuals that have round, we want to bring it in, make it smaller. Those individuals that have square shaped face, that means you have points or lines. Those lines to look masculine. And if you're doing makeup for a woman, ultimately you want them to look as soft and feminine as possible. So naturally, when you look at someone's facial features, you kind of identify those things that you want to correct. Okay, correct first. And so a lot of times, if it's a wider forehead, the point you'll put like a darker foundation or in the corners, all right, just to kind of cut those edges off and give the illusion when people are looking at the face that that area is smaller. Well, even when it comes down to the chin area, you want to soften it up, make it more feminine. You find them using darker shades along the cheekbone and also under the chin to make those areas give the illusion of softer, finer lines, a softer line, a more feminine touch. 138, a jaw that is wider than the forehead characterizes what facial shape? I want you to learn shop door. Next week when we go over makeup, it's called shop door, and that is an acronym for every facial shape. Okay, so 138 is going to be D, a triangular facial shape. Also, this will be considered a heart shape, not a pear shape, where the forehead is smaller and then the bottom of the face is wider. 139, a blank face has greater length in proportion to its width than a square or round. Read that again. A blank face has greater length, so it's longer in proportion to its width. So the face is longer, but not as wide. Okay. You're looking at diamond, square, round, or oblong. I'm thinking 139 is oblong because oblong gives us this rectangular look. Okay. Gives us a rectangular look where it's longer. The facial shape is longer, and then it's not as wide. So oblong, this is like a rectangular look. So you will need to soften those corners, okay? And areas in the face that look smaller, if they use dark colors to dark shadows and liners to minimize facial features, what do they use to make them pop? Lighter colors, okay? So we have lighter colors. This is why they have concealers and things like that in between the eyes, and because you do have some eyes that are maybe smaller, and so you put lighter shades between in the T-zone just to make those areas look bigger. 140, the ideal eyebrow shape can be drawn in 1 line, 2 line, 3 lines, 4. 140 is going to be C, 3 lines. Okay, ideal. The best light to use in consultation area and during the application makeup is 141, natural light. Okay. And here's where you have to understand someone's skin tone as well. So this is where the law of color comes in. If a person is in a salon and the salon is blue, because I see a lot of turquoise blue teal walls, y'all, that blue is going to pay a difference, and it's going to play tricks on your eyes. You're going to think the client is pulling cool tones, and they're really not. If someone has yellow walls and things of that nature, I would think they're pulling warm tones. Red or pink walls, warm tones. So leave a place in your salon or spas that is neutral, like just a black wall or a white wall. It could be a small piece of that area, because that's gonna naturally give you the light is gonna bounce back and give you what you really should be seeing, the true color of a person's skin and of a person's hair color. Always do them under a natural light or take them outside under the natural light. You'll be able to see the undertones of the skin and the hair. 142, makeup should be blended onto the skin using disposable sponges. Okay. 143, in an expert makeup application, there should not be a B, line of demarcation. It should be blend, 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 blend. 144, to avoid the transfer of foundation onto a client's clothing, set the foundation using a powder. Okay, setting powder. 145, when applied to the lids, eye color, a shadow makes the eyes appear blank and more expressive. 145 is A, brighter colors. Brighter says makes more noise. Okay. 146, eyeshadow that is lighter than the client's skin tone is considered highlight color. Okay, it's going to make something pop. Highlight color. 147, when applied properly, lipstick should be even on both sides of the mouth. Okay. 147 is B, symmetrical. Okay, asymmetrical means one side shorter and longer on the other side. Symmetrical means balance. 148, if you are using an eyelash curler, you must blank the lashes before applying mascara. If you're using an eyelash curler, you must blank the lashes before applying mascara. 148 is going to be C. okay? 149, blank are eyelash hairs on a band that are applied with adhesive, that's glue, to the natural lash line. 149 is B, strip lashes, okay? 150, the blank are separate artificial eyelashes that apply to the base of the eyelashes one at a time. 150 is A, individual lashes. All right, y'all did it. I am going to save as. Okay. I'm going to drop that in the group. Good job, guys, y'all. This week we completed this state board prep. Please do not move away from it. This is one of many that we're going to complete. This is for facials, makeup, and hair removal. Next week, we're going to jump into makeup, but we also going to choose another state board prep, okay, to start on. So we'll have a little theory, then we'll move into our state board prep. That's how that's going to work next week, okay? Y'all have a good afternoon. I'm going to put this into the group. The only thing I need you to do is just start reading the makeup chapter. Even though you have maybe 2 to 4 questions on your state board prep, we want to highlight those areas on Monday. Exactly, we're going to go through that ebook and exactly highlight them on Monday, and then we'll be continuously moving along, okay? So we're going to have another state board prep, and we're going to be on makeup, and the makeup chapter shouldn't take us that long. We should finish both of those things next week, okay? Y'all have a blessed and amazing Wednesday. Stay tuned for an update in the group, and the update is about the next state board prep study guide that we're going to pull out, okay? And so everybody is moving towards excellence, and